It wouldn't be the Waimate 50 without open wheelers, and while some of the more modern examples shy away from the rough and tumble of street racing, there was still an amazing display of machinery, with historic Formula Fords and vintage race cars putting on demonstrations throughout the weekend.
For getting into motorsport, it's kind of that step out of karting, isn't it? Into the next.
Yeah. I mean, you can go the Formula V route, and everyone says now you can go into the Toyota 86s, but to learn car setup, car control, everything that you need to know to be a good race driver, you need to be in one of these. Away we go with the historic cars and historic Formula Fords here at the Waimate 50. We'll just let them sort themselves out for a lap or two. There is Nigel Barkley just through in 4th place there. And two of the names to look out for, Van Diemen, obviously. Nowadays, Van Diemen go to a Australian conversion, Van Diemen Stealth, Spectrum, another, Lola. So many amazing brands that all sort of had Formula Fords back in the day. Elfin, incredible. And they haven't changed that much in performance. It's still a 1600cc Ford Cortina engine. Wow. There's only very limited modifications that you can do. The racing is always super, super close. Andy McElrace, the late, great Ashley Stitchbury, all dipped their toes in the water in Formula Fords. It just goes on and on and on in New Zealand motor racing. Glenn Tulett from the South Island was a real stalwart. Jason Richards was a past New Zealand Formula Ford champion.
Mate, you're a book of knowledge, aren't you? Didn't I see also Greg Murphy's son is actually competing?
Murph
he was at the Supercars,
Murph is doing the new season, yeah. Murph himself raced Formula Fords.
Wow.
Don't think he was a champion in Formula Fords. He was in Formula Brabham. There's another look at the Stanton Corvette. There's that sprint car I was talking about. Have a look at the tail tank on that. Looks like something that wouldn't be out of place at the Templeton Speedway or the Ruapuna Speedway it is now, or Western Springs.
You don't want to dice with the rear of that on those concrete walls.
Well, you don't want to get any of these cars anywhere near the concrete walls, I would say.
Check out the rear of that.
Well, you think when that car sort of came into being in the 50s and 60s, that was state of the art. I mean, it looks a little bit sort of Mickey Mouse now, but I mean, it's not. It's a part of the history, and there's another part of the history. That's that sprint car I was talking about. Just saw Nigel Barkley in that three-way battle at the back of it. Nigel not only has he run that car since the inception of it, the Van Diemen, but he's also managed some of the top drivers in New Zealand. I said to him jokingly yesterday, I said, Nigel, we're doing a live stream tomorrow. There'll be plenty of time to have a chat, so why don't you come up and tell me where all the bodies are buried in motorsport? And he laughed and he said, I said, because you'd know, because you've been around. He ran the Ford Telstars back in the 2-litre touring car days. He's managed Paul Radisich. I know he had a hand in some of the career, especially the 2-litre touring days of Ken Smith, who we mentioned before.
Yep.
He's been there and done that, and he's also done it in Australia. So, he, like I say, he knows where all the bodies are buried. He knows all the secrets.
There's some amazing names here at the Waimate 50 this weekend as well, and you see that throughout the field. And just this history, we're very, very lucky to have all these guys commit and come along and just show us the 60th, show us a piece of what's actually going on this track. And if you really do want to sort of have another glimpse at it, check out the waimate50.co.nz website or on the Facebook page. There's so many cool pictures of back in the day. Like, they've got 2 massive trucks full of timers. It's not electronic back in the day, were they?
It's a stopwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So older sports cars out in the field as well for the vintage and pre-85 Formula Fords. These guys have just started to have a little bit of a battle within themselves here, which is great to see, because that's a hallmark of Formula Ford racing, close competition.
Plenty more action to come from the 2019 Waimate 50 Motorsport Festival. Stick around. After the break, we go V8 racing with the Mount Shop muscle and touring cars.